So welcome to the Canadian Immigrant Web Conference series in partnership with ACCES Employment. My name is Baisakhi Roy. I am the online editor at Canadian Immigrant. Thank you for joining us for this industry-specific web conference for internationally educated engineers, technologists, and technicians. Before we begin, please note that this session will be recorded and posted on our website to watch for those who cannot attend in person. So before we kick things off with our first presenter, we have a short video to share with all of you from one of our sponsors, Western Union, who supports Canadian Immigrant and allows us to run these free events and webinars for newcomers across the country. So yeah, let's have the video, please. Thank you for that. Well, let's get started. I am very excited to introduce our first speaker, Rizal Halali from ACCES Employment. Rizal will be speaking to us on the Engineering Connections program and services that they have at ACCES Employment. If you have any questions for Rizal, please feel free to type them in the chat by clicking the chat or the Q&A buttons, or typing them on the right-hand side, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. You can also email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. We'll try to get to as many questions as possible, but we are here for just an hour and a half. So if you have any elaborate questions, please send them to us via email at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. So thank you, Rizal, for joining us today, and the floor is yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Baisakhi, for inviting us, and also thanks to Canadian Immigrant. It is indeed a great pleasure to be part of this program, and I am sure people will enjoy all our presentation because we have OSET here, we have Humber College, and that will be absolutely meaningful, particularly for those who are planning to come to Canada in future, or already those who are here in Canada. So I have a small presentation. Before that, I want to give a little insight about myself. So my name is Rizal Halali, as Baisakhi mentioned. I work with ACCES Employment for more than 14 years. And interestingly, I work only with foreign trained engineers. And I'm working with engineers for more than 13 years in Canada. Although I'm not from engineering background, but I work with engineers. So I certainly, towards my presentation, at the end of my presentation, I will share some of the insight which I learned from my own life that might be helpful for some of you who are planning to come to Canada or who are already in Canada. So at the beginning, I want to say something about my organization, ACCES Employment, and then I will present my program, what we are doing right now, and then I will share some tips and challenges for the newcomers when you are in Canada. So ACCES Employment is absolutely a private non-profit organization. We are in this field for more than 30 years. We are specialized on employment, and we do only one thing. So our programs are focused to the employment service. And we support our clients from diverse background to get into the job, and those who have challenges in different fields. So we work with them and we support them in all possible ways to get a meaningful job here in Canada. Those who like the statistics, for them, around 56,000 people annually get support from ACCES. 89% of people, they are pre-arrival programs. Nowadays, we have also pre-arrival programs. So some of you might know, those who are joining from abroad, they know that we have pre-arrival programs. And there are some statistics, how many people come to our office and how many people. Overall, job placement rate is very high in Canada. So I will say 85% here, people achieve their objective, the job placement. We do different things. So we have the job search support program. We have online services and program. We have a specialized support for Afghan refugee, Ukrainian people. We have Francophone. We have program for the Francophone. We have a special program for women, youths, and trade and bilingual people. But popularly, we are known for the bridging programs. So this is important, which I want to share. And on the right side, you can see on the screen on my slide, there are various on bridging program which we deliver from ACCES. The bridging program means it's a sector-specific program, and all the programs are in collaboration with academic institution. And you can see there are three programs which are focused to the engineering professionals, which is electrical engineering, engineering connections, and the project management for engineers. I will give you a little bit of detail after this when. Now I want to give you a little bit of, so these are the things we do. We do online webinar workshops, and those who are staying abroad still, so you can come visit our website and you can go to the e-access. Under the e-access, there are so many resources which might be useful for you before coming to Canada. Now I want to focus on the engineering program. So certainly I'm very proud that we are implementing this program for over 20 years. The engineering program in ACCES is more than 20 years. Over 6,000 graduates, and we have 4 streams. One is, we call it engineering job search, and that is workplace essential for engineers. Then we have project management for engineers. Then we have electrical engineering connections, which is relatively new program. I will come back to this. So these are the 4 streams under the umbrella of engineering programs. And over 100 employers are engaged, and overall 80% employment success. Our employment success rate is 80%. And then we work very closely with different academic institutions, such as Humber College, Seneca College, and Toronto Metropolitan University. And later on, you will see that which program collaborates with which institution. We collaborate with the PEO and OSPE because we are Ontario-based organization. So we closely work with the Professional Engineers Ontario and Ontario Society of Professional Engineers. And then in 2018, we established a new program. I think this is the only program for electrical engineers in Canada. This is from the very beginning. We were not sure about we did not anticipate that COVID will come, but before that, we developed a new program absolutely online, and it is delivered from LMS. Initially, we deliver it from Humber College Blackboard. Then now we have our own platform, so we deliver from our platform. It's self-learning plus live debriefing sessions. Yes, certainly it's a successful program, and my success is because of this. So we have strong alumni connections, and every day we get support from our alumni, and they help us to create the jobs. They help us to do the mentoring, coaching, and supporting. And we are very strong in engaging our alumni. So this is a big picture of our Engineering Connections program. Now I will go different stream. And those who have the opportunity, they can take the screenshot so that later on you can get more information about the streams. The first one, Workplace Essential for Engineers. This program is online. It's a 6 weeks program. My academic partner is Humber College. And this program is funded by the Ontario government, and there's no cost for this. It's a 6 weeks program. This program is designed for those professionals who need further language improvement or communication improvement. So popularly, it is known as ELT. It means Enhanced Language Training Program for Engineers. Then we have a general program, which is engineering job search stream. We call it Engineering Connections. This is also online program, 6 weeks program. It's a free of cost. It's funded by the federal government. This program is for, typically it is designed for the all occupational background, like say civil, mechanical, electrical, electromechanical, industrial. The main focus is mainly, there are two main topics in this program. Like if I look at the workplace essential programs, in this program, there are three main topics: 70% time dedicated to language instruction, 20% time focused on job search, and 10% time focused on, say, technical education like health and safety code, ontario building code, other things. And the job search for the engineers program, there are two types of program, like 60% uh, topics are focused on the engineering topics, more extended code standards and rules and regulation, and say another 40% is the job search topics. So now then I can go to the project management for engineers. This is a very special program for the engineers who are focusing more on the management career rather than core engineering. This is also online. It is an 8 weeks program. This program is funded by the Ontario government. And that is why there's a little tuition fee for this program, $400 plus tax. However, this includes the PM book version 6 plus RITA plus question bank for the PMP exam. The beauty of this program is if those who are interested to go for their PMP exam with PMI, so if you graduate from this program, you will be eligible to get straight to the PMP exam, because those who are looking for the PMP certification, I'm sure they know that you need 35 hours of PDU, Professional Development Unit. This is a 35 hours of PDU. So once you graduate from this program, you are ready to go for the exam, PMP exam with PMI. My last program is Electrical Engineering Connections program. This is a bit of mine program. I feel proud because from the conceptualization to implementation, I am part of this program. So this is a 9 weeks program, and my academic partner is Humber College. And out of 9 weeks program, Humber College teaches around 110 hours, and the rest 45 to 50 hours is the job search topics, which are facilitated by ACCES consultant. So it is hugely focused on the technical topics. But again, all the engineering program, I want to mention it, that our programs are not an academic program. We believe that you are engineer, you know the theory, you know the calculation, you know the principle, but when you are coming to Canada, the first thing you need to know, you need to familiarize yourself with different course standards, rules, and regulation, and understand the job search dynamics. So our goal is to familiarize you with the local standards and local job search practices. So that is why it is not an academic program. It is, we call it job readiness program. Again, come back to this program. This is Ontario government funded program. That is why there's a little tuition fee, $500 plus tax. But if you are eligible at the end, you will get refund. Same with the project management program. You need to pay the tuition fee $400 in advance when you are enrolled. And at the end or during the program, the college or university, they will process it for the refund if you're eligible. Our next program is here, and here is a link program link. So these are the four main streams of the program. Now I want to go what is inside the program. So job search is a common topics for all the streams. Typically, we cover these items: how to write resume, labor market research, cold calling, workplace communication, creative problem solving, PO licensing. These are the common topics for all streams. Now, if I go to the technical topics, which are covered under the Engineering Connections program, engineering topics are ethics and law, Ontario Building Code, health and safety code, health basics of supervision, estimation, MS projects, and lead. This is under the Engineering Connections program, the technical topics. Now, project management for engineers, as I mentioned, is a very specialized, and in this program, it is my partner is Toronto Metropolitan University, and as this covers 35 hours of PDU, and that is why it's a little heavy in terms of technical topics. Sorry, it covers fundamental and concept of project management, agile project management, integration management, PMI code and ethics, PMP exam preparation, contracting process, and risk management. So these are the technical topics covered under the project management for engineers. Now, the next program is electrical engineering. Electrical engineering also a little heavy in terms of topics, technical topics. because 110 hours out of 9 weeks, 110 hours facilitated by a Humber College professor. And they cover a health and safety code and standards, application of measuring instrument and Ontario electric and fire codes, industrial automation, energy system, electrical equipment, and renewable energy. Like we cover all four streams of renewable energy like wind, solar, bio, and geothermal. So these are the technical topics covered under the Electrical Engineering Connections program. Now, now you got an idea about the content, job search content and the technical contents. Now, what else we do to achieve our objective? So what else we do? Okay, so first thing is that we have the opportunity to provide one-on-one coaching to all of our participants. Certainly, as we are in this field for last more than 20 years, we have a strong employer connection. We work with all the major employers in the industry, in engineering industry. And then another support is that if someone is attending our program, they will have access to the LinkedIn Learning for 4 months. And there's another learning platform, which is known as IBM Skill Build platform. So there are thousands and thousands of free courses from LinkedIn and IBM. So people will get extended access to all this learning platform more than 3 months or not 4 months access to those learning. If someone wants to expand enhance their skill and understanding about the sector, so this could be a nice opportunity. Apart from this, we also organize on a regular basis. We organize recruitment events, mentoring event, and also professional webinars on different theme within the engineering field. Plus, we also have the job retention support. We have 3-4 professionals. They are known as a business coach. So they are professional engineer from different discipline. So they work with our participants one-on-one basis during the program to provide them industry coaching to make them understand what could be the real gateway or pathways for their career. Also, we have a professional language and communication coach because communication and language improvement is essential for all of us. So we have that provision in our program. So both the language coach and the business coach, they will be working one-on-one basis with our participant during the program and even after the program. And even they got a job and they need job retention support, we have the provision. Now the popular topic is who are eligible for this program. So now these two programs are funded by the federal government, IRCC. So their criteria is pretty much same. Just now you can see the program name here. These are the two programs. So in this program, people who are permanent resident, conventional refugee, and at least have 1 year engineering experience from outside, international trained professional, either diploma or graduation degree or diploma. For this stream, we expect 7 and above CLB, Canadian Language Benchmark. And as this is a language focused program, so we will expect 5 to 6. However, if someone has any interest and they have some other question and concern, they can get back to us and we can clarify these and we can see what exception we can make for them. These two programs are funded by the Ontario government, so that is why okay, one more thing before that I want to share. So this program is only for those people who lives in Greater Toronto and Hamilton area. This is important. So it is not a pre-arrival. You cannot join this program from abroad. You cannot join this program if you live in other provinces. Only Ontario first, Ontario, then you must live in GTA and Hamilton area. This program, these two programs are funded by the Ontario government. So their criteria is also very similar. So project management for engineers, they will accept permanent resident, naturalized Canadian citizen, conventional refugee claimant with work permit. And for this project management, people must live in Greater Toronto and Hamilton area. But for the electrical engineering connections program, people must live in Ontario. So this is the little difference. Other than that, 2 years experience in the respective field, bachelor's degree and diploma, Canadian language benchmark 7 and above. So these are the primary criteria for those who wants to come to the program. So this is all about the program. Now as I mentioned earlier, that I want to share some of my experience, because I'm working with engineers for more than 13 years in Canada. And on an average, every year from my program, uh, 562 engineers graduate from our program. So I am very close with their challenges, and I know very well what their challenges they are facing, how they encountered those challenges, and what needs to be considered in order to get settled in Canada, particularly for the first job. So from that perspective, I want to share some of my personal thoughts. Maybe it will be helpful for you. First, so let's go one by one. I know engineers are coming from different part of the world, and different country has a different occupational roadmap. But when you are planning to come to Canada, please make sure you draw your own line. You need to decide whether you will be focusing on core engineering. Core engineering means it's the application of theory according to the PEO definition. Core engineering means those who are focusing on design, drawing, calculation, those kind of things. So if you are expert on that line, so you can focus on core engineering occupation, and you can focus on the PN's licensing. The project manager, and some of you maybe at the beginning of your career, you started your job as within the core engineering. Later on, you have grown in the field, so you become project coordinator, manager, director, operation. Then maybe going back to the core engineering might be a little challenge. So you might be thinking about the project management. So you can think about PMP designation, or some of you might be a heavily high-tech person. You like to be settled as a technician and technologist. It's a very rewarding opportunity to be a technician and technologist. And I'm sure after my presentation, you will have a presentation from OSAT. This is one of the brilliant idea, and they are supporting in many ways. So there are different ways to get settled. I'm not saying that I have seen so many people, they got their technician and technologist license, then they become PMP, then they become PNs. So all possible. But in terms of priority, it is better to have the priority. And I personally believe that as a newcomer, when you are coming to Canada, you should not focus on your designation. You should first priority is to get the job. Then the rest thing will come automatically. Because once you have the job, because you need to pay your bills, you need to feed your family, you need to sustain. So at the beginning, don't get stuck with the licensing rather than focus on job, then life will be much more easier. Because for those licensing, it is a process-oriented issue, and also it takes time. If you are rich enough, you have savings, then that's fine. I salute you. You can enjoy your life. But if you need to take care of yourself, you need to go for income, then you need to prioritize. Second thing, in many countries, I have seen the people who are generalists, they are highly valued. Oh, you can do design, you can do management, you can do contracting, you can do so many things. You can do the logistic, procurement, distribution, production, quality control. You are genius. But my friend, if you come to Canada, please, please do remember, Canada is a land of specialization. Here, you need to be specialized on something. In your resume, if I see that you do everything, then I am afraid I cannot afford you. Here, employers, they look a specialist. If you are a specialist on something, certainly it will be an added value. Say, for example, if you say I am a civil engineer, I said, so what? It means nothing in Canada. Civil engineers, there are at least 20 ways to fall under this civil engineering. It could be a structural design. Then structural design of what? Concrete, steel, wood. Structural designer of what? Dam, transit, water resource, so many things. So you need to draw the line. Then if you say, I'm a construction engineer, okay, then what construction? Roads, highways, tunnel, high-rise, low-rise, ICI project. These are the things you need to understand. This is the Canadian labor market. You need to be specialist, and you need to act like a sales engineer. You need to present yourself well. employer will not go back to your home country and see what you did. So you need to present in such a way so that you are confident and you can validate your resume. This is the problem nowadays. Using all the AI tools, ChatGPT, people write a nice and fancy resume. And I have seen in recently that so many employers are very mad that, okay, people wrote nice resume, but they cannot stand behind the resume. They cannot validate what they wrote. Very important to remember. So, and also, if you are coming from abroad, each and every country, they have their own codes and standards. So please, if you are on your way to Canada or if you're already here, please make sure you are comfortable. I'm not saying that you need to be expert on code and standard, but you need to be familiarized with the local sector-specific code and standard. Ontario billing code for the construction people must, safety code for all people, electric code for electric engineering. There are so many other things you need to be comfortable with. When you will go for job search, then people will understand that maybe you did not work in Canada, but you are familiar with the local code and compliance. Plus, I'm sure all of you will have some plan to get your license. It doesn't matter in which stream. So that is why you, before coming to Canada or if you are here right now, you need to be comfortable with the regulatory requirement for your licensing. Check PEO website, OSPI website, OSET website, and the PME website. So there are so many great resources, and they have alumni, they have event. So it is better to be informed before landing here. And also, I will request you to be comfortable with the local job titles. Now, different countries. So some country they call field engineer, some country call site engineer, some country call so many things. So I will request you, if you are a civil engineer or electrical engineers, make yourself comfortable that, okay, what are the job titles right existing in Canada and in Ontario? And then you customize your resume and then you call yourself in that way. Rather than calling a civil engineer, why not you call yourself as an utility engineer or water resource engineer or tunnel engineer? You see, all are under civil, but you are saying differently so that I do understand what is your specialization. Automatically, it connects. To understand all this job title, you can go to the NOC, National Occupational Classification. If you type civil engineer, then you will see at least 30 to 40 job titles under the civil engineer. For every job title, you will see for every NOC code, NOC code number, occupation, there are so many of job titles and you need to be comfortable and then you need to present yourself accordingly so that local people will understand which category you will be in. And also, I will request you to explore alternative careers within your occupation. So now it is a little, don't feel bad. I'm not saying that you need to change your career. No, I never support that. I never encourage that. But I'm saying alternative career within your occupation. Now, say, for example, you are a petroleum engineer coming from Venezuela or Iran. Then if you are living in Toronto area, where is your oil and gas industry in Toronto? Impossible. Only one place we have in southwest corner, close to the Michigan border. A little bit of oil and gas industry. But if you're a mining engineer, only one place in Sudbury. But it is impossible to relocate again. So that is why when you are here, and if your occupation and industry doesn't match, remember, occupation and industry. Occupation-wise, you are a mechanical engineer specialized on oil and gas. So, but I'm not asking you to change your occupation. I'm asking you to be comfortable with the industry. So now, if you are an engineer, petroleum engineer from oil and gas, maybe you are very good with the maintenance. Maybe you are good with the procurement. Maybe you are very good with others. So bring those transferable skills and look for job somewhere with other industry and stay within your occupation. So this will make your life a little more easier. Plus, so when you are coming, before coming here or when you are here, make sure it is your obligation or it is your responsibility to identify your companies, potential company. Workopolis, Indeed, Monster, Glassdoor, these are good information, but at the same time, you need to be comfortable. Okay, who are my potential employer? If I am looking for a job with, say, instrumentation control system, PLC, okay, who is the best employer for me? Maybe Johnson Control. I'm looking for quality assurance, production and operation. Okay, who are my company here in Canada? Okay, I need to go to Procter& Gamble, GlaxoSmith, right? Haynes, Canada, Mondelez. So these are the things I need to know. Random job search will delay your integration. So that is why you need to be comfortable with your potential company here, and it will make your life easier. This is one most important thing I want to share, because by default, engineers are serious type of people. They like work, they like job. But my friend, Canada needs someone who can present well as well. It's an immigrant country. All are immigrant. You are coming in 2024, somebody came in 1924 or 1824, doesn't matter. All are immigrant. Here, employers have the anxiety. What I'm saying, anxiety means they want to be sure that you are a good fit from two perspectives in their workplace. Number one, from the cultural perspective, it's very important, and the compatibility wise, technical compatibility wise. So if you are doing something in your country, you need to present it in such a way so that I can depend on you. Remember, Canada is a plug and play type of culture. Today, if you are hired, tomorrow, at the end of the day, your manager will ask, okay, what did you do? They don't have time to teach you that much. So that is why presentation makes a big difference. So soft skills are equally important. You are full of hard skills. We know that very well as an engineer, but soft skills are equally important. Uh, then I will request you to do a good research about the job prospects within your field of specialization, particularly the location. Like say, for example, if you're coming to Canada, if you are a, say, textile engineer, or you are a paper and pulp engineer, where is job in Toronto for the textile engineer? No. If you are from oceanography engineering, no job in Toronto, in Ontario even. If you are in oil and gas, a little bit, but you need to go to Alberta and somewhere else. For oceanography engineering, you need to go to Halifax, New Brunswick, or Vancouver. If you are from, say, manufacturing, then if you live in Toronto downtown, then there is no factory in downtown. So you need to see either Vaughan area or Mississauga or Brampton or further north, most of the manufacturing, or further west. So these are the things you need to. So if you live in, say, core downtown, and if you are looking for a manufacturing job as an industrial engineer within the TTC or the transit system, my friend, it will not work. It will make your life difficult. So that is why make sure you know where are the jobs in terms of physical locations and where are the prospects. And then always I used to say, customize your job search, always, always. Today, if you are applying to say Aecon or Elliston or AECOM, every company are different. Although you are applying for a project manager's role, civil construction manager, but all companies are different. They have a different guideline, different preference. So you need to every time you need to customize your job search according to the job. This is a very important. That is why I say job search is a full-time job. You must have a plan if you want to succeed as well. So this is all my learnings. And finally, I will say, don't compromise with your goal. You want to be successful. Just compromise with your strategy. Today or tomorrow, you'll be successful. So this is all about my presentation. If you want to get in touch with me, you can get back to Boishaki, or you can take the screenshot, you can drop me a line, and that's it. With this note, thank you so much for being here today, and it's my pleasure, and I'll be waiting for your question and concern. Boishaki, sorry, I took 4 minutes extra time, right?
Oh no, I think it was well worth it, because that things to remember tip sheet that you have. I think that is something, like you mentioned, everybody has the hard skills, everybody has the knowledge from the academic from an academic point of view. Where are the jobs? The disconnect between occupation and industry. You made some really valid points, and in our chat, we have a lot of people who acknowledge that, because these are the things that people don't tell you sometimes, right? So thank you for bringing all that personal experience into play, because that's what really matters.
Thank you.
We
Thank
have
you.
time for a quick couple of questions. Of course, please feel free to send an email to info@canadianimmigrant.ca if you have, because we wouldn't be able to take all your questions at this time. One of the questions asked in the chat, Rizal, was about someone who has an industrial engineering degree from their home country, with an ECA from from WES. Can they take the project management course?
This is a very special case. We can certainly we can compromise with the requirement, but the only challenge is if you are living out of Ontario, then it will be a challenge. But there is another way. Like say for example, just it's an open discussion. Then you need to let us know that okay, you are looking for a job in Ontario. Otherwise, how I will ensure your job? So you need to tell me that, okay, Rizal, I am interested to this program because I'm looking for a job in Ontario. Here is my temporary address in Ontario. Please support me. So then I can look for a job in Ontario because I do not have that much of extension to work with other province. So this is something we can negotiate, certainly.
We have time for one more question for Rizal. This is from Calgary, Alberta, someone who has a PR. They have a bachelor's in engineering, electrical, electronic engineering, and diploma in instrumentation and control system engineering, and electronics and electrical engineering level 3, and they need some assistance to break into the industry. What would your
Okay,
advice
first thing,
be?
if you are from electrical electronics engineering, and I'm sure typically you have a two roadmap. So you can go to the control system engineering, and this is one of the best in Canada right now. I will say after construction, there are two occupations that are highly hot cake. One is the instrumentation and control system, another is the process improvement. So if you are on the instrumentation side, then you need to be comfortable with Allen Bradley. Siemens will not work here. Siemens is your back home experience. But if you are comfortable with Allen Bradley, certainly you can focus on that. But if it is engineering, if also you have option to go with the within the electronical background, maybe you can think about some of the manufacturing environment, those who are doing the high tech. Typically in Canada, electronics manufacturing is not great, but the high tech manufacturing industry, particularly the medical device equipment sector, is very strong in Canada. They have a big industry. So these are the things. I know there are so many questions I can share, but with the limitation time. But Boshaki, if you allow me, I can stay till the last. If people want to join, I can wait till the last. Even at the end of the day, if there's any question people can ask me, I am okay.
Okay, but if you are not able to, then do leave your access email in the chat so that people can get in touch with Rizal.
Certainly.
Um, so swiftly moving on to our next speaker. Thank you, Rizal, again for the wonderful presentation. Our next speaker for the day is from the Ontario Association of Certified Engineering Technicians and Technologists. We are thrilled to welcome Trisha Tedoldi. I hope I didn't muck up your surname. A thousand apologies. Similar to Rizal's presentation, if you have any questions for Trisha, please feel free to type them in the chat. Click the chat button. There's a Q&A button on the right side of your screen. Please feel free to post your questions. And without further ado, Trisha, the floor is yours. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. And I'm very proud to be here today. Rizal, you had a lot of great tips. And in what I do with OSET, I learn like so many different things from so many different people. So I actually made a few notes. So I thought there were some great tips in there that I'm going to add in when I'm dealing with new Canadians as well.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I wanted to start off with saying that with my role with OSET, I'm very proud to be working within this organization because we're really proud, and I'm really honored because we really do take pride in helping our members and advocating on behalf of our members here in Ontario. So within my role with OSET, I manage all of our educational outreach with organizations that help new Canadians, as well as all of the college programs that have engineering and applied science, technician and technology programs here in Ontario. So within my information today, we take a look at it from a glimpse that you have maybe never heard of who OSET is and what we do. So this is a good introduction for you. And then I also have an exciting online event, which I will put the information in the chat for everyone. So there's a lot of great information that we're going to talk about, and then we can address any questions that anyone has. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly bring up our presentation here to share with all of you, and then we will get started. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this from the standpoint, like I said before, that you have never heard of who we are or what we do. So as an association, we are the certifying body for the Certified Engineering Technologist and the Certified Technician designations. So we have 15 different disciplines within engineering and applied science technology. We as an association have over 5,000 organizations within our association that employ our members. So we have very close relationships with those that employ our members here in the province. As an association, we have over 21,000 members here in the province of Ontario. Okay, so when you become a member of OSET, you are gaining access to a network of individuals that are like-minded within engineering and applied science technology. Now, as an association, we are obviously a certification body, but we also advocate on behalf of our members to industry, colleges, government, other associations, and the public. And then, of course, we are very proud to help our members throughout when they first become a member, whether you're a new individual that's new to Canada or Ontario, whether you're a student that is in an engineering or applied science technology program, all the way through your professional career and into your retirement. Now, I always get asked about our disciplines. So here is a recap of the 15 disciplines within engineering and applied science technology. So when you apply to become a member of OSET, we are registration and professional practice area. We'll take a look at your education and your work experience to determine whether you'd qualify for the certified engineering technologist or the certified technician designation, and then what your discipline of registration would be. So we do have mechanical, building, civil, instrumentation, resources, electrical, bioscience, computer, chemical, electronics, mining, geomatics, industrial, geological, and environmental. Our largest disciplines fall under civil, electrical, electronics, mechanical, and environmental. So, and this is where we're seeing within industry that this is where employers are looking for you to have their certification. So I myself, I have a background in human resources, training, development, and adult education, which happens to be from Humber College. And I can tell you that when I first started working at OSET, it was probably only about 20% of employers who were requiring or preferring certification. When we did our most recent salary survey in 2023, we learned that our members, who were certified were earning anywhere from 10 to 20,000 more per year. But we also learned that these employers, over 60% of them were looking for you to either have your certification, be working towards it, or prefer for you to have it, as well as paying your annual membership fee for you. So we have seen huge growth over the past 10 years. And the great thing is that when you become an OSET member, you do gain access to all of your resources, including the salary survey. And then as well, what ends up happening is you can participate in the salary survey also. Now, why are individuals becoming certified with us? Now, if you're looking to work as a technician or a technologist, it's important that you take a look at this because employers are valuing this. It's showing that you are going above and beyond what you need to do to be successful in your career here with us in the province. It's showing that you have the ability to have to be earning a competitive salary. So again, the salary survey showed us our members that are certified are earning anywhere from 10 to 20,000 more per year because they have their certification. It's showing that mark of professional achievement. So being able to carry those protected titles behind your name is really beneficial for you. And then, of course, gaining access to all of the personal and professional development through the various events and all of the networking opportunities that are available to you when you become a member. Now, this is something that I like to highlight because I actually received an email last week profiling that this is still the same, meaning that OSET's designations are recognized as one of the top 5 most valuable designations within engineering in 2020. Okay, so this is still consistent. When I received the email, they said it's still the same within 2024. So this is important that you know that it is recognized as one of the top 5 most valuable certifications. And that was given to us from Randstad Canada. Now, again, this is just the information. So, over 71% of these employers in 2023 have been giving us this information saying that they value certification and are looking for this. And when you take a look at what our requirements are for certification, you can see from an employer standpoint why they value certification. It's showing, that we have certain individuals that are meeting certain standards that are higher than and showing what you need to do. Okay, so we're going to go forward with that, and we'll talk about the requirements and the documents. So in order to become certified, like most professional associations, so everything is done online. So I will show you on our website because I want to show you where our event information is as well. What ends up happening is you have to go on to oset.org, and then you would go in and you would create your username and password in our portal. And then what ends up happening is you'd go forward and submit all of your documents to be able to prove that you are meeting all of our requirements. So one of the requirements that you need to meet is your education equivalency. So you do have to submit your English translated copies of your academic documents to show us what your background is and what your education is in. Okay, so and I also want to highlight that if you have any questions pertaining to your application, I will be providing the admissions coordinator contact information, Laura Henry, who will be able to assist you if you have any particular questions, and also be able to walk you through the application process if you have any issues as you're going through everything online. Now, when we take a look at the file review and your work experience, because in order to get certified, you do have to have 2 years of relevant work experience within your related discipline. So this does not need to be Canadian work experience. It can be experience from your home country, but we do require 2 years of experience. If you're going to be working towards your certified technician, then it would need to at least be at a technician level. And because we have 15 different disciplines, I have provided a broad list of examples of typical activities that are carried out at a technician level. And some of them would include, as listed below, testing, troubleshooting, inspection, calibration, design drafting, quality control, maintenance, modeling, data compilation, estimating, sales, surveying, and field supervision. Again, on our website, we do also have profiles for a technician or technologist, which goes into greater detail as to what these activities are, because when you're submitting all of your work experience and your education, you do have to submit job description information as to your experience. Now, with relation to your work experience, you do have to submit professional references for your previous employers. And what ends up happening there is they would then receive a questionnaire from our registration and professional practice area so that they can verify all of the work experience information that you have submitted. Okay, so that's really important that you have that information as well. Now, if we're taking a look at work experience for a certified engineering technologist, which is the CET, you need to have 2 years of relevant experience at the technologist level. And so these are more of a supervisory managerial roles where you'll see that you're typically supervising technical projects and or staff. So below are a few examples of activities that are carried out at the technologist level. And so they are design, production, marketing, testing, quality control, estimating, surveying, inspection, diagnostic evaluation, supervision, management, technical sales, and teaching. So if I have anyone out there that's an educator, we do certainly take a look at individuals who are educating in that profession as well. Okay, so also what I do like to provide details on is that when you are in the process of becoming an OSET member and working towards your certification, once you have met the certified technician requirements, you would then carry your CTEC. And then once you go forward and you've submitted all of your information for your certified engineering technologist, that's when you would drop the CTEC and have your CET, which is the certified engineering technologist. So I do like to highlight, because sometimes I get questions about, well, what happens if I've already met all the requirements for the CTEC, but then I'm working towards my CET. And we also have individuals who have education at a certified technician level, but then they come and they start working as a technologist. They have additional courses that they've taken, and then they want to reclassify into a certified engineering technologist, and they can certainly do that as well. Okay. And again, just keep in mind that our admissions and certification team within my professional practice area, they take a look at everyone on a case per case basis. Now, because years ago, we eliminated the Canadian work experience requirement, we do have an English language benchmark requirement, meaning that for the certified technicians and the certified engineering technologists, we do require a level 7 on the CLB. So that means that that's at the academic level. So that's for listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And OSET considers overall test scores from the following English language proficiency organizations. So we have them listed below, and they're also on our website. So I'll take you back to where you'll be able to navigate all of that information, so that when you're going through the process, this is where you'd be able to go and get the information. Now, when you're looking at your English language benchmark, this information needs to be current within 2 years. So it's really important that you keep that in mind, because these test scores need to be current within 2 years when you're submitting them for your requirements. Now, moving on to what we call our internationally educated professional practice exam. So this is a requirement for, again, both your CTEC and your CET certifications. You have to pass this professional practice exam. Another reason why employers value certification, because you're out there representing them in a professional manner. We take our code of ethics very seriously, and passing this professional practice exam demonstrates your awareness of your legal and ethical responsibilities to the public, employers, and of course yourself. So within this online multiple choice exam, you are writing it with an external proctoring company online. It's approximately 3.5 hours in length, and it goes through our Canadian civil law, OSET's Act, our bylaw 20, as well as our code of ethics and rules of professional conduct, and our regulatory and professional practice committee terms of reference. Now, when you get to the stage that you are writing your professional practice exam, you'll go back into the portal and you'll register for your professional practice exam online. And what ends up happening is you will then receive an ebook study format, which has all the material that you would need to prepare and study for writing the examination. As I said, it is an online exam. You do need to achieve a 50% on this exam to successfully pass it, which means that if you were to fail the exam, you do have to rewrite your failed sections. So if it was the ethical portion that you failed, that would be the section that you would be rewriting. And of course, if you go through the material, maybe it's been a long time since you've written an exam and you feel that you want a more guided approach, we have an online seminar for preparing to write the professional practice exam. It has sample study questions and quizzes at the end of each chapter, along with a complete sample practice exam that you can take. So that is available for you as well. Now, when we're looking at the certified engineering technologist, there is also a technology report requirement. Now, this technology report, the purpose is to ensure that you can assess your ability to effectively examine and describe an engineering or applied science technology problem. So this is within your related discipline. And it is a two-step process in which you first have to submit a proposal on what you're doing your technology report on. And then once you receive approval, you will have 1 year to submit your full report. Now, the great thing is similar to our professional practice exam, we do have a technology report writing seminar as well. And then we also have a 23-page document. It is a guideline which goes through all the structure and the mechanics of what's expected in both completing a proposal as well as your report. And then we've even gone a step further as to providing you actual copies. So you can go through and reference and see what a successful technology proposal looks like, as well as a successful report. And so we have a few examples on our website within a few disciplines, so you can take a look at that as well. So when I get asked typically how long it takes to get certified, if I'm looking at an individual who already has relevant work experience, it could take you, a year to a year and a half, depending on how aggressive you are in getting all of your information in. Because please keep in mind that when you submit your application into us at OSET, there are time frames. So we do have your application for almost 8 weeks when you're first submitting your documents. If there's anything that's missing, that could delay some information as well. Then you have to take into account that there is time for writing your examination. And when we look at an individual that is perhaps going to school full-time or working full-time, you may need 6 to 8 weeks to be able to study and prepare for writing the exam. And then, of course, if you're working towards your CET, which most individuals who have a bachelor's degree would be looking at the CET designation, this is where you need to also complete your technology report as well. So depending on if you've already done a technology report, perhaps you can take a look at that and make sure that it's in adherence to OSET's guidelines. There's different ways. There are most 3-year programs. Like if anyone's taking a program here in Ontario, they typically would have a technology report embedded into their curriculum. So there's all different ways to be able to take a look at submitting your technology report. Okay. Now, what I also want to go through and show you is some great information for individuals who have recently arrived in Canada. So we have a new Canadian application offer, which means that if you have recently arrived in Canada within the year that you're applying, you would be eligible to take advantage of our new Canadian application offer, which waives the application fee. So when you're applying for OSET membership, there's an application fee as well as your membership fee. Okay, so if you're able to take advantage of that new Canadian application offer, that's great. And then you'd be able to save the $254. Now, what I want to do is go into some other benefits. So, and Razul, you kind of talked a little bit about this in your presentation, which I think is really important. And it's not something that we obviously planned or talked about before, but being able to take advantage of resources. So as an association, we have a lot of different networking opportunities, and this is where it integrates in your soft skills. So when I'm talking to employers, or if I'm dealing with different organizations like ACCES or TDSB, or there's so many different ones, even the program that's at Humber, soft skills is something that comes up. Employers tell me the soft skills time and time again, so it's really important. And within our networking, we have 27 chapters here in Ontario, 3 of which are in the GTA. It's a great way for you to network with people that are in the industry. It's a great way for you to utilize your soft skills and to build upon that. And so I would definitely recommend taking advantage of those opportunities and that part of your membership. We also have an online job bank where it's available only to OSET members, so you'll be able to view the job postings there. When you get to that stage, I would certainly recommend making sure that you are keeping your information current and up to date, because employers do get the opportunity to go in and check out their resume database, which means that they can essentially reach out to you even if you haven't applied for a position. So it's really important that you take advantage of that. And then OSET has a lot of great discounts for their members. We have an app through Vengo, which goes through hundreds of different retailers with different discounts. hotels. We have the Personal, which is our largest affinity partner. They provide preferred rates on home and automobile insurance, CAA, all kinds of different discounts that are all available. So there's a lot of great ways to save money, and all of this is certainly available and accessible on our members only section of our website. What I want to do as well here is highlight this great OSET event that we are having here on Thursday, October the 10th. You'll see there's a QR code that you can go into there as well, but I will be creating a link from our website, and I'll put that in the chat. This is for internationally educated professionals with a background in engineering and applied science technology. So there is an online portion during the day, and then there is an in-person event, which is happening in the GTA. So I will go on to our website here, and I will show you where this information is. Let me just pull this up here, and then I will put the link into our chat. And then that way you'll be able to see everything here. So this is here. Okay. So I'm going to actually give you the straight link so that you can register for this. And I would recommend registering as soon as possible because it is filling up quite quickly. I'm just going to put this here into our chat. Okay, so everyone should have that there. So that's the link to Whova, where you'll be able to register for everything for the event. But what I do want to highlight is everything that you need to know about OSET is on here. There's a lot of great information. This is where you would go in and click in and join to become an OSET member. And again, I did promise the contact information of our admissions coordinator. So her name is Laura Henry. And if you have any questions pertaining to your particular application, you would be encouraged to reach out to her because she deals with all new Canadian applications, including the new Canadian application offer. So her email address is very simple. It's lhenry@oset.org. All of this information, again, is on our website. But again, don't forget about this event. So this is the 4th year we're running this event, and it's been quite successful. As you can see here, if I go back and I take a look here at the actual agenda, you can see here that, so we are doing an information session with Wes. We also have various workshops on your elevator pitch, mastering your interview skills. And obviously there is an in-person networking event where we're going to be doing some mentoring sessions as well with individuals that are in the industry. So this is a great event that I would encourage you to take advantage of. So again, thank you very much for your time. I think I went over as well a few minutes, so I'm very sorry about that. But if you have any questions, I'm here as well until the end.
Thanks again, Trisha. And we have a few questions in the chat. Thank you for the great information. A lot of the questions are also about if this is only for people in Ontario and not, I'm assuming, not open to people in BC or other provinces.
Well, so we call them brother or sister associations. So there's an association for engineering technicians and technologists in British Columbia, in Alberta, throughout all of the provinces. So if, for instance, you were to be in BC, but you were planning on coming to Ontario later, there is a transfer option. So you can transfer within provinces. Absolutely. Right. Depending on where you are with respect to the certification process, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question was, are experienced engineers also expected to do the CET?
Are experienced engineers. So if you are a professional engineer, there is a little bit of it is a quicker process, but even if you have experience, then yes, you would still have to go through and complete all of the requirements. The only difference would be if you were already a PEng, then that process is a little bit more streamlined because you've already done everything through PEO. So we do have a more streamlined process for that.
Got it.
Yep.
One final question. I mean, we have a lot of questions
Mhm.
for Tricia, but she has put in her email, I think, in the chat. So do reach out to her, or do reach out to info@canadianimmigrant.ca if you have more questions. And I'm sure you do. There's already a lot of questions that I'm afraid we won't be able to get to, but a quick one. Irene says, I was in EIT until 2014, but I want to be certified by OSET. Is it possible? If so, what's the process?
So as we talked about the process in the presentation, right? So what ends up happening is you have to apply online, you have to submit your documents, so your official notarized transcripts, and then you'd have to go through the process of completing your professional practice exam as well as your technology report. And then of course, ensuring that you have the work experience and your Canadian language benchmark. So you'd still need to make sure that you have all of that as well.
Okay, so with that, thank you, Trisha.
You're welcome.
Like Trisha mentioned, a lot of the information, a lot of the questions are about, and the answers to all of that are in Trisha's very elaborate presentation. This entire web chat will be available on CanadianImmigrant.ca. So if you've missed anything, the information's right there. We move on to our third speaker now for the afternoon. He's from Humber College, Christopher Imex. He's the coordinator of the Engineering and Architecture Bridging Program. As with our other speakers, if you have any questions for Christopher, feel free to type them, put them in the chat, we will try to get to as many of the questions at the end of Christopher's presentation. Christopher, welcome. The floor is all yours. Please take it away.
Thank you. The sharing by Tricia needs to stop before I can share.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we'll try now.
There you go. You're all set.
Zero, yeah. Well, thank you for the organizers and everybody. I tried to stay within 2:07 right now. We have to finish at 2:30, I believe, right? Yeah. So you see here, right on the first slide, that this is incorporating industry. Actually, the whole bridging program is industry. And the industry trends, industry skills, recent technologies, and adult learning, which also means that your learning can be customized according to your level of knowledge and understanding, meaning that in the program, in the courses, you can skip certain modules based on your initial assessment. Humber now is no longer a college, it's a polytechnic. And I also like to acknowledge the funder, the Barrett Family Foundation, for funding of the program. Entrance criteria is similar to the bridging program that Reza mentioned earlier. There is mention here about the technologists and technicians. So if you have a 2-year or 3-year diploma from your home country, we would like to hear from you. Every cohort, we have 3 to 5 students with technology or technician background. Newcomers all have to be newcomers. What does that mean? You can be a permanent resident, convention refugee. I would like to highlight your refugee claimant. Yes, with the work permit, but the refugee claimant is a category that has been added about 1.5 years ago to allow them to start their studies and maybe transitioning to the labor market. Post-secondary education, diploma or degree, we need to see an equivalency or evaluation for that. And work experience is important because it is always, when it comes to employment and attending hiring events, experience always comes into play. Underemployed or not employed in their field in Canada, underemployed, an example would be maybe you've been a senior project manager in Saudi Arabia and you're a project coordinator here. That can be assessed on case-to-case basis. The language proficiency is important because the program is intensive, it is complex, and it is delivered at high pace. So we want to make sure that we set you up for success and satisfaction instead of frustration, struggling with the contents of the course. The language is something that we can also assess further at the admission interview. And one very important aspect of the entrance here is that you cannot have your highest level of post-secondary in your field in Canada. If it's in a different field, you can make an exception. Structure of the program. It is offered 3 times a year, January, May, September, 15 weeks. Each intake student is anything between 30 to 35 students. There is one cohort that just started on September 9th, and the next one will start January 13, 2015. The academic component, it consists of 10 courses for different streams. I'll be highlight that later on. The academic component and the curriculum is revised annually, and we rely on the advisory committee, our industry experts, our faculty, and program staff, which suggest changes to the curriculum. It's updated regularly. The main, I would say, the main component is the job search support activities. This is where most newcomers struggle. And we see many situations when they try and they apply in engineering-related jobs. And if it's not working, then they're not sure why they cannot get at least a phone interview. And the program staff for the job search activities are experienced in the field of engineering and architecture, and includes the employment advising, starts the 2nd week of the program. It's individual, your case, your career, your expectations, and getting to the point of clarifying where is your best chance to enter the Canadian labor market. The other aspect is the job development. This is more industry-focused connection with industry, with employers, where we send your resume to companies, we organize hiring events, and it's an ongoing process. The job search support activities take place during the program and for 1 year after your graduation, and everything happens online. In addition to the academics and the job search support activities, you see the career development support activities. For example, you will be able to meet with graduates from the program who graduated 2 years ago, 5 years ago, even 13 years ago, and they are in the field, successful in their careers, through a networking event where you can ask them questions. What is important in the field that you are working? What jobs should I apply for? How did you get your first job? So that kind of networking event, it's one of the highlights of the program. And of course, we prepare you for industry. It's the academic component, but also the communication, the preparation, the interview, the questions, the answers, the practice scenario with us, with our help, but also you will have a chance to interview with industry professionals, architects and engineers with field experience who give you a real interview, and of course the hiring events. There is a little bit about how the program had changed since last year. Before the terminology was learning objectives. What do you know? Now more focus is on performance objectives. What can you do? What can you demonstrate to employers that you can do? Can you use SolidWorks to design a cabinet? Can you apply the Ontario Building Code to a case scenario? Can you do a sample estimation? Do you understand? Can you apply project management principles. And this is what the industry component of what can you do instead of what you know. Recognition of prior learning, which means that if we take the example of AutoCAD, you are an expert in AutoCAD, you will take an assessment at the beginning of the program. And if you pass all the modules, you don't need to attend those classes. You can focus on maybe job search or maybe Revit or other courses where you are not that strong. So we recognize that and we recommend that. So there is that flexibility that you attend based on your needs, which the instructors will recommend. Of course, you will have the option to attend the whole course. Adult learning principles, meaning that there is live instruction, but there is also a component where there is group work. Everybody's knowledge, everybody is contributing. It could be a group where somebody is expert in project management, somebody else who is not, sharing that knowledge, and then feedback to the instructor or demonstrating to the instructor that you are mastering that learning objectives, which means that because of that flexibility, you have more time for career search and planning. Why consider this program? Some of the highlights and what I hear from alumni and also that I'm getting inquiries out of province is the schedule. I'm being told that this program is made for newcomers, meaning that having busy lives, working in a survival job, or being underemployed during the day, the flexibility of the schedule that you can take this program evenings and weekends, less disruptive to your life, maybe to your work schedule. Course selection, heavy on software training, but the combination of courses, it is such that it maximizes your chances for employment. For example, if you are a site supervisor in civil engineering, it's a good idea for you to know about Revit, project management, AutoCAD, also blueprint reading. So the courses are interconnected. And also keep in mind the specifics of job description, because almost every job description in civil architecture, you see the Ontario Building Code. It's included. Design skills, it is included. Delivery is live instruction. Every session is recorded, which you have access to. Attendance is very important. And here again, what you know versus what you can do, the hands-on training. And this is something that I don't even want to call it a course, more like a program, a structured program where technical training and job search go hand in hand. You do it at the same time. The terminology, the language, the topics that you learn during the courses, you apply it in your job searching, customizing your resume, at interviews, thus improving your marketing skills, networking. In other words, you transforming social capital that you develop through the program into employment, because you are in that professional environment where you can improve your networking skills. Free computer loans and software access. Revit and AutoCAD, you have a license for 1 year on your computer. For SolidWorks, the license is for 2 years. And also there are financial supports available for the program because the program comes with tuition fees. So here is in a definition, actual definition of the program is the technical training, technical skills, 15-week part-time evenings and weekends. The evenings are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday you have 2 courses, morning and afternoon. And one of the courses is self-directed, meaning online. At this point, those details may be not necessary. That can be covered later. once you completed the initial application. I'd like to spend a little bit more time on this. I mentioned courses earlier. This is the content areas, the academic component. And everything that you see here in bold, that is applicable to all streams: civil, architecture, and mechanical. AutoCAD, Blueprint, Business, Project Management, Revit, MEP, Sustainable Design, Workplace Health and Safety. That's 8 courses. In addition, you have Construction Estimating and Ontario Building Code for civil and architecture only. And then you have SolidWorks, Beginner Intermediate for mechanical. So each stream takes 10 courses within 15 weeks. In addition, you have the job search. And that's for each stream, civil architecture together and mechanical with SolidWorks, beginner, intermediate, and all in each of these you take an initial assessment. That's where we determine your module, career, the course path. Maybe somebody is a PMP already. You might not need to take the first 3 modules or the whole course because you already passed our assessment and you passed that course. That's the flexibility. That's the adult learning principles. And there is no better news for us working in this field than news such as this, And what you can see here, the variety of occupation, and what we see right now, more and more students are able to get different opportunities, such as planning technician, this town of Mono. So this is a city with a town of Mono. We also have some federal government students got jobs in scheduling and maintenance. Somebody in Northwest Territories, mechanical engineering related. Somebody in landscaping, architecture background, landscape design with the city of Toronto. So we see more and more of that. It means that there is scope for different level of government jobs for newcomers to Canada. And these are recent. And they came to Canada with no Canadian experience. And now they started their careers. This is my contact information. I also will add my email to the message box. Maybe just use the email. Very important. The next information session for engineering is next Wednesday. You will need to complete an initial application for me to see if you meet the initial requirements. And then we can go from there. That's all I had. Thank you. Back to you, Baisaki.
Thank you so much, Christopher, for all that information. Looks like a solid program. A few things that you touched upon, the financial supports that you touched upon in one of your slides. Where can one get a little more information about that? Can you tell us a little briefly about the financial support?
Yes, there is a bursary that comes with the program, which is reimbursement of the tuition fees. That's one. There are loans from Windmill Microlending. There is also an immigrant loan from ACCES, and those who are receiving Ontario work support, their caseworker can support the training.
Right. What about a placement cell? Does this program have like an active placement cell at the end of the program? Does the program sort of have a component where it actively helps the students to get placed?
So the job search support starts with the second week of the program. Our students are mature, experienced individual placement doesn't apply because they're coming with experience, and the program is hands-on. So all the jobs that they are getting full-time paid employment.
Right. You'd also touched upon the online portion of the classes, the online element. Are those specific times, or do you have set times for these
Set
online?
times, evening 6 to 9,
Mhm.
Saturday 9 to 12, and 1 to 4.
Right. So I think our time is running out. So if there are any questions for Christopher, first of all, thank you, Christopher, for that great presentation, for all that information. If you have any questions that we couldn't address, and we have a lot of questions coming on in the chat, please send them to info@canadianimmigrant.ca. Each of our speakers has also shared their contact details. They've shared links to relevant programs associated with their organizations. Please send your questions. If you've missed any part of this webinar, it will be available on our website on canadianimmigrant.ca. I'd like to thank everybody for attending our web conference series today. This was in partnership with ACCES Employment. Special thanks to Rizal, to Trisha, and to Christopher for taking the time out, for creating such elaborate slides, containing such valuable information, and sharing their skills and expertise with everyone. A lot of programs that people do not know the intricacies of, they do not know where to look for information. It's always nice to have a person speak to them directly about this program. Thanks again to our sponsors, ACCES Employment. If you missed anything, again, the web conference will be posted on our website. We have 2 more in-person Canadian immigrant fairs happening this year. If you're located in Vancouver or Mississauga, you can find more information on canadianimmigrant.ca/career fair. With that, thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time out. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you to our attendees. And we'll see you for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to register for the event, guys.
On October 10th.
October 10th. The link is in there.
Absolutely.
Okay. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.